Today we're going to make some herbal incense using herbs and natural ingredients. That will be a low toxic alternative to the ones that you buy at the store. So I'm using makko powder, which you can purchase typically at craft stores and at the Jeff Bezos store online. I like a lot of herbs in mine, so I typically use a cup of makko to about a half a cup of herb of my choosing. I'm using lavender in this recipe. And then I typically use the same herbs essential oil as well. So I'm using lavender essential oil in this. And then you're going to just add a little bit of water at a time. You don't want to add too much water. You'll probably start out with something like a spoon and a couple tablespoons of water, and just keep on adding a couple tablespoons at a time. And eventually the spoon will not work for you and you'll have to move to your hands. And you're basically making a mud pie. The less water you add, the quicker it will dry. The more water you add, the more difficult it is going to be to deal with. So just add a little bit of water at a time. Once you get it to the mud-like consistency, it's going to be very sticky. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of cornstarch on my hands. And you'll see that I start forming these into cones. And I form the cones on the end of a chopstick. And I do that so that I use a little bit less of the ingredients, so it goes a little bit further, but it also helps it in the burning process. I do use these dried cones on a charcoal burner that you would use for incense, but also for things like a hookah. And that's what works for me. If you have other ideas, then please feel free to share those with me. If you like recipes like this or are interested in other ideas where you can make some more things from home, so living, non-toxic living, please visit me over on my website at www.fibermaiden.com or anywhere on the internet at fibermaiden, all one word. If you like shorter content videos, please visit me on TikTok, and I also have a Pinterest. So once you get these formed, you're just going to do this about 100 times, and you're going to put them on a cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper on it. And then I typically put them on top of my refrigerator and just forget about it for a couple of weeks to a month. Once they're dried out, you could store them in an airtight container. I just store mine in a mason jar. Typically when I make a batch like this, it makes about, I would say, like 100-ish of these cones, and it typically lasts me about 4 to 6 months. I burn at least one of these a day, maybe like 5 of them a week. And so it lasts me a really long time. So I only do this a couple times a year. Feel free to change up the scents to something that you like and share with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.